After record snowfall, it's time to break out the skis and sleds. We're live with the latest conditions and what you can expect for this weekend.
I'm Georgina Fernandez. As the Department of Transportation works on tackling priority roads, they're also working on clearing sidewalks. I'll tell you their progress coming up.
This was a very sad day. The Doyon 26 rig was a very special rig for us.
Determining next steps after the collapse of the rig, Doyon 26, ConocoPhillips talks plans beyond the beast.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Happening right now at 6 after a historic snowfall yesterday. Large parts of South Central are now playing the cleanup game while trying to stay safe. That includes clearing roads, sidewalks, and driveways. This, of course, all being done by the city and the state and you at home.
Yeah, for those doing that today, there was actually a little bit of a warm up, which is nice.
It is nice. It was also accompanied by some winds, though. You probably saw those. Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry is live outside in East Anchorage right now with a look at the current conditions and what we can look forward to ahead. Melissa.
Yes, we have fresh snow on the ground and a lot of it. Temperatures are warming back into the mid-20s, so there's no reason not to be outside. We're here at Russian Jack Springs Park, right off of DeBar, and Anchorage Parks and Recreation is having their open house tonight. So they have cornhole, they have hula hoops, they have s'mores and hot chocolate. They even have free cross-country skis for kids. This goes until 7:30 tonight. I've been working on my cornhole game. I think for some reason it's harder in the dark, I think. No, oh, I got one. There we go. Nice. Well, okay, let's get to business, right? I should do some actual work. Let's talk about those conditions outside. It is much warmer and much more comfortable out here. 26 degrees in Anchorage right now, 28 in Kenai. Talkeetna is sitting at 34 degrees, 26 in Eagle River. Now that the sun is setting, seeing again that visibility dropping. When that snow is blown, it does get a little bit tricky. So do still stay safe on the roads. They are slick, and we do still have a lot of moisture coming in. It is very wet from Prince William down into Seward. That is all coming in as rain. It stops at about Girdwood, not really making it up over the mountains. And I do expect that to mostly be the case as we head through tomorrow and Friday. Slight chance we get a few of those scattered showers trying to push into Anchorage, but it's not going to be much. What we do see, depending on the time of day, could include a little rain in there. So be on the lookout for that this weekend. As this storm gets a little closer, we'll continue to refine those details. We get just a slight chance of a little bit of that wintry mix, especially for the south side of town as you head closer to Girdwood. Again, that is on Thursday into Friday. Otherwise, these temperatures, they do just continue to warm. We will see dry conditions into the interior with high temperatures back to the double digits, 11 in Fairbanks, 40 in Juneau. We will see rainy conditions and still seeing those high winds down in Ketchikan and Sitka. Bethel, just a little light snow to start the day. So all in all, improving conditions after that record snowfall yesterday. And, John and Augusta, how's your hula hoop game?
Terrible. You okay?
I actually don't know anymore. I would have to try again. But Melissa, I'm very excited to see your hula hoop game.
Let's go.
That's what I said. I'm like, terrible.
It's tough.
We gotta
to
work
cope.
on that. I'll let you guys do some real work, and I'll work on this.
Okay, Melissa, we're glad you're out there enjoying the snow for us. Of course, the sticky bits are over, and now it's a great time to go outside.
Have a good time. Thanks, Melissa. Out there at Russian Jack Park, East Anchorage. Melissa Fry, appreciate you. All right, the Department of Transportation started tackling major routes in Anchorage today. At the same time, it's also starting work on sidewalks. Georgina Fernandez shows us how things are looking right now.
Well, if you've been out on the sidewalks walking or even attempting to walk, you probably noticed you're walking on a lot of sandy snow right now. That's all over the ground. As the Department of Transportation says, they're working on clearing priority roads and also sidewalks. Crews were on the ground Wednesday working on cleaning up Tuesday's messy snowfall. These sidewalks are critical safety routes for pedestrians.
To where we can get to where we need to be and we're not just stuck at home or having to rely on somebody else.
The DOT says the cleanup is going to take time. Due to snow buildup, crews are going to have to haul snow away. That process can take days or weeks, as the DOT urges people to practice caution when on the roads.
It is dark this time of year. We do have sightline concerns with all the snow berms around town, as well as limited space for vehicles and pedestrians right now. the amount of snow we got on the road. We've got narrow lanes, icy intersections and places around town.
And if you're having to walk right now on the roads, the Department of Transportation recommends you have things like reflective gear on to make yourself more visible. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
And for those of us out there shoveling snow, you've got to be careful. Our Danny Tompkins shows us how you can avoid injury.
With this month's record-breaking snowfall, I decided to get out and do some shoveling myself. Now, it's a little harder than it looks. Your heart rate gets going up, your muscles get warm, and there are some hidden risks. Growing up here, I thought I knew everything there is to know about shoveling, but today I spoke with a doctor and physical therapist who said that death is even a risk.
Most people will take a big scoopful and then hold their breath and then throw it out. And when you hold your breath a lot, that puts a lot of strain on the heart.
That strain can trigger a heart attack. But it's not just your heart at risk.
If they have a slip and a fall, they could break a hip or strain their back, things like that.
Start with simple prep work to protect yourself.
Doing, I would say, squats, even if it's just body weight squats, if you don't have a lot of equipment, really doing any exercise to strengthen your legs.
Dr. Nutter's important advice is pace yourself.
If you're starting to get chest pain or chest tightness or any of those other symptoms, stop. Take a few deep breaths, walk inside, rest, check your heart rate. If it's irregular or it's way too fast, you might want to consider calling 911 at that point.
Now, technique matters. You want to push forward when shoveling. Use those knees to lift up, keeping that back straight and taking a step to avoid twisting your spine. Now, you want to watch out for warning signs like tightness of chest or getting lightheaded. If you have any of those, don't tough it out, but call for backup. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Now to Capitol coverage, where today ConocoPhillips Alaska executives reflected on the toppling of the Doyon 26 rig known as the Beast, happened last week.
They acknowledged the loss after North America's largest land rig fell over while being moved along a gravel road.
This was a very sad day. The Doyon 26 rig was a very special rig for us. I think, one of the questions you're probably asking as we were is, what does this mean for our North Slope operations? I'm pleased to say that within about 48 hours, we pulled a team of about 25 people together and very quickly were able to come up with an alternative.
In that same speech, they mentioned not expecting any material change to long-term production. ConocoPhillips says their new plan will keep them in line with yearly output, and they do predict environmental impacts will be minimal despite a reported diesel leak that's being monitored. 8 people were treated and released after the rig fell. We're going to have some more details coming up on the Late Edition.
And developing tonight, Senator Dan Sullivan is joining mounting calls to investigate federal immigration tactics in Minnesota, where a Border Patrol agent shot and killed a nurse last Saturday.
The shooting has sparked protests against immigration crackdowns across the country, including in Anchorage and Juneau. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski is another lawmaker pushing for this investigation. She stated that she thinks Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem should resign. Sullivan has reiterated his support for law enforcement and removing immigrants with criminal records, but admits change is needed.
In a statement released today, Sullivan said in part, the loss of civilian life in Minneapolis is a tragedy, and all sides need to focus on de-escalation and lower the temperature so violence in Minneapolis dissipates. This does appear to be happening, unquote.
We'll continue to follow that.
So the Air Force plans to expand the Joint Pacific-Alaska Range Complex, commonly known as J-Park.
While that proposal is still under review, Adrian Peterson heard from leaders at Ilsen Air Force Base about what this means for both the Air Force and civilians in Alaska.
The premier airspace for training in the United States, the Air Force plans to both reconfigure and expand the J-Park as the current airspace limitations have deficiencies. The expansion addresses a critical gap in modern military training as 4th and 5th generation fighters need more space than existing configurations provide.
The airspace expansion will just allow us to execute better training and better tactics that are more representative of what we'd need to execute in a real-world type scenario.
The proposal includes redesigning the J-Park with lower altitude floors, establishing new airspace in the Gulf of Alaska, and creating training areas in western Alaska. One of the big concerns for civilians, how will they know when military aircraft are active in the area?
In general, for airspace activation, within 24 to 48 hours, We're usually publishing NOTAMs about potentially activating military airspace.
For commercial and general aviation, the Air Force says civilian access is being protected.
There's this series of MOAs, the Delta MOAs, that provide access to Fairbanks for commercial flights that are arriving from the east.
Another concern raised, GPS jamming during exercises. Military officials acknowledge the potential for effects beyond aviation.
As far as developing new pathways for notifications beyond the aviation community, that's getting a bit beyond the scope of this environmental impact study, but it does bear looking into.
When it comes to physical expansion, only communications equipment may be needed.
There will not be any additional construction or infrastructure developed as part of this project.
The proposal is currently in the scoping phase, and the public has until February 9th to submit comments. As to whether or not any of the 3 proposed plans become a reality is a matter of seeing what is said about the plans. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
And you can stay up to date on everything about potential changes on our website.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.